My name is Sean Boulton. I'm the principal of Newport Harbor High School, and I've got some wonderful people here who work at the school, go to the school, and are affiliated with the school. But we are coming up on our 100th birthday at Newport Harbor High School, and the path to success is not linear anymore. You don't go to college and then automatically become successful, and we're always looking at different ways and different avenues for success and opportunity at Newport Harbor. Our two teachers here are culinary teachers. We have sent a lot of people to culinary school, a lot of graduates. Our culinary program is nationally recognized. It's one of the best, and we have two of the best teachers teaching in our program, Ashley Kingsbury and Sarah Pilon. We have two IB DECA business students here who are well on their way to success, Conrad Cook and Kim Sales. And we also have Jeff Yokohama, Yoki, who is a former parent at Newport Harbor High School, former resident of Glendale, my hometown, but you went to Glendale High School and I went to Hoover, right? Rival high schools, not quite as contentious as CDM and Harbor, but that's a different story for another day. But we just want to talk today about a collaboration, a joint project between the business program, the culinary program, and a key community member, and also the vision that we have for our school about building an enterprise center at our school to house not only culinary and business, but other avenues in the career technical education field or just the business field to help promote and support students who want to go from high school into industry or high school, college, and into industry, whatever it may be. But again, this is a joint collaboration project between Yoki, our IB Business DECA program, and culinary. So why don't we go ahead and talk about what exactly we're doing, because we have worked a lot on this and where we're at. So Jeff, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Well, thank you, Sean. Thank you, group here. This has been something that I wanted to try to give back, so to speak, to the community, but also to the educational part of Newport Harbor High School. So we started out last year with developing clothing, and that clothing was being made out of things that were actually being thrown away on campus. We ended up raising about, well, I won't say a number, but we raised some money for the school. All the proceeds go back to the school, and we are now in our second year developing a new project where we're going to make some orange juice, and this is the bottle that we're working on. And on the cap of the lid, our mantra, or the thing that we're going to try to do, is we're putting the orange back into the county. So it's kind of fun, it's kind of cute, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, we're able now to take that clothing part. And this is a jacket from the culinary school, and we want them to have little orange juice bottles on the back of some of their culinary schools. What do you call these?
The chef coat?
The chef coat,
Yeah.
Exactly. And so the part of the clothing, I wanted to show a little example. This is an old t-shirt. And to make some of our labels, I print on old t-shirts, cut these things out, and then hand stitch them onto our garments. So we'll have the Yoki Shop garment inside, but on the outside, we'll have the Orange Garden and the Newport Harbor High School. Sean and I talked about possibly changing this to the N and the H,
Right.
But my suggestion back was to make this a humanity, arts, and type of feeling, so that you are represented in a different way than the athletes and the other kids and things that are on campus there.
And last year you came to me, you're a fashion icon, a fashion legend, you are. You started Maui and Sons, and now you're in Mucho Aloha, right?
Yeah,
that's
Mucho Aloha.
That's your new company. But you really opened up my eyes about upcycling and repurposing clothing. There is a lot of clothing that we throw away that goes to landfills or doesn't quite make it to, well, it's just waste,
It's just
basically,
waste.
right? And so we repurposed a lot of clothing and sold it and made a lot of money for the school. But then we started talking about the amount of citrus that used to be in Orange County and currently is in Orange County that goes unused. And kind of marrying that with the culinary program. But Ashley and Sarah, why don't you talk about your chef Kingsbury and chef Pilon?
Thank you.
Talk about your involvement with Yoki and Conrad and Kim in making orange juice and kind of the spirit behind it.
So we were presented with the idea of, adding on to what was already happening on our campus with the upcycling of the garments, but the idea of kind of upcycling this backyard fruit. It's not fruit that somebody's already eaten and then they're throwing away. It's just fruit that's growing on these people's trees in their backyards, and we all see it, and it's just hanging there, and nobody's doing anything with it. And it's kind of just like a remnant of a forgotten Orange County that was once here. I grew up here in Orange County, and I grew up in Cypress. That my backyard was not in Catella. And the field behind my house was just strawberry groves. And then when I was 8, a Target went in. And but I do remember the orange groves. And so I love the idea. And I always look around, and I always thought I had in the back of my mind this backyard scavengers. I thought we wanted to take our students. I was like, we got to be backyard scavengers. Just go and knock on people's doors and ask them if we could pick their fruit and just have it. And then somehow, between Sean and Yoki, they read my mind. And I was like, this is the project that I always wanted to do. So
the farm to table.
The farm to table, and it's like which you look around and you go, oh, we live in Orange County where it's maybe just cement and asphalt, or there's little pockets of green. But when you really look in people's backyards and you see, like, oh my gosh, there are fruit trees everywhere, and there's just this history of it that I think is so amazing. And so I just love the idea of it. So I jumped on board when it was presented, and Ashley came on board too. So we just, we didn't know how it would work, because honestly we have a big curriculum that we have to get through in our program, and juicing oranges was like, well, we can't just juice oranges all day. So we had to work it out. It took, Sean and Yoki, you guys gave us a little bit of time to figure that out. But once we figured it out, and I think that the thing that really brought me on board was the students that are in the business program, that I saw their enthusiasm, that I was like, okay, these kids are into it. And if they want to put in the work, then I'll put in the work. The worst part of teaching is dragging kids across the finish line, but I don't have to do it with these guys. So just it's equal effort on everybody.
And the culinary students are involved too.
Absolutely. So the culinary students, first of all, we teach a lot of food safety. So that's a big part of it, right? That we want to make sure everything we're doing is on the up and up. So every one of our students is certified in food safety, and so we're able to get all those oranges, clean them, sanitize the bottles, and then we just had a whole day, of cutting up the oranges, cutting off the rind, and then juicing them. And it was like a little factory going on in our kitchen. And I think, how many bottles did we end up making? Like
72.
72. That was on the first day. And then I think we had another
We had 40 more.
Yeah. So, over 100 bottles of juice that I was like, we did it. And it didn't take as much effort as I think we thought it was going to take. It was, you had to dedicate a day or two, to it. But once we did, it was like, oh, we have a product all of a sudden.
And that's the business tie-in.
That's the business tie-in. So I'm just really proud of these guys, because without them, the culinary students can do the culinary side, but it's that front of the house that there's only so much that we can get to. Ideally, I would love it if my students could put together a business proposal or put together a whole Instagram page and do the marketing and do the things, but I'm like, we can only focus on so much. And so I love the idea of putting a couple programs together, cross-curricular, and bringing in some awesome students. So
and we've always preached that the power of our school is in the community. And
absolutely.
And not only the greater educational community, but the community on our campus. And so marrying these programs is fantastic. To be fair, we didn't get the first run of oranges didn't come from Orange County. They came from
Temecula.
Kim can talk about that.
But it was a former Newport Mesa parent. Her students went to Corona Del Mar High School. And we went out and we picked oranges in the middle of July, I believe, which was really hot out there, but a beautiful farm. And so why don't you talk about that a little bit, Kim?
Yeah, so it was a very fun and interesting experience, and it really highlights the community involvement required to make a project thrive. And we talked to Lara, who owns a 147-acre farm called Coyote Farm, and it was just awesome being able to hear her experience coming from an area like Newport Beach and then shifting into an agricultural lifestyle and being able to utilize her skills and what she's learned in farming and trying to help out a community initiative here in Newport Beach. So I think that was pretty neat.
She gifted us the oranges.
Yeah.
We went and picked them, but it's that return, that spirit of the farm to table piece, the return to farming and growing and sourcing our own food.
Right.
And in this case, fruit. And Conrad, you went out there a second time, right?
I wasn't able to go because I was out of town, but she sounds like a very nice lady.
And you're planning on going out Friday, though?
Yes,
to
we
pick
are
some-
going to go out
We're
on
going again.
Friday. Yeah, I'll take my mom's car. So I'm really excited to, pick some oranges because I saw the pictures. It looks amazing. And, it's really nice to meet new people, especially like-minded, like Yoki here.
Why don't you talk about IB Business in DECA just for a second? About what IB Business at Newport Harbor is and what you do with that program.
So I remember junior year when I first started, Mrs. Burke, she introduced us to all these new things, and I thought, man, IB Business is really a cool and different class. Normally you have a full curriculum and you have to do some certain assignments, but it felt more open in that class. So I was immediately really engaged, and I kind of just fell in love with all these new terms that we were learning. I was always raising my hand. People were calling me Con Father, and saying all these things because I always knew the answer. And so she's the one that actually told me, hey, there's a really cool thing we're doing, Yoki's Garden and DECA as well. And there's a junior president opening coming up, and I think you'd be really great for that. And so, I started going to the DECA meetings, which were really cool. Logan Hardy, who's an awesome alumni, he kind of was super opening and welcoming, and there was pizza, which is great. And, it was just that community of, like-minded people that are interested in business. And
that's just very quickly, DECA, for people that don't know, is a business program within our business program that is a national organization that competes on a national and state level like culinary does.
Right. I was able to go to some of the conferences, and it's just really neat being able to compete in what you're really interested in. For example, I did automotive marketing, and I did rank first place. So I just think it's a great opportunity for anyone who's interested in business or like entrepreneurship, or just like figuring out what you're really interested in and just being part of that and that community who really wants to see you improving your skills. I think it's a great opportunity for
And
all
really
of us.
supporting and nurturing that entrepreneurial spirit.
Right,
That's so
for
much
sure.
a part of this country
sure.
and this community.
For sure.
I think that's the greatness of CTE classes, are trying something out in a not as scary environment. Before you actually get into the real world, you can figure out if you want to do it or if not. Just like with culinary, kids either find out they really want to do it or they absolutely don't. But it's a perfect way to do it and not have to jump in as an adult with both feet in the deep end. So that's the greatness of CTE.
Yeah, and the coolest part was actually going to Yoki's Garden. Logan accepted me into there, and I was a sales executive with Kim here. And, I actually didn't get to meet Yoki until much, much later, until I actually became co-president. But with Logan, we went and sold the clothing, and it was so cool to get that, hands-on sales experience at such a young age. I think that was really, a blessing and really lucky, because most kids, they're not going to know how to sell something and talk to people until they're actually there doing it, right? So I think that was the coolest part about Yoki's Garden. And also the upcycling was super fascinating, and talking to people and just trying to make a conversation out of thin air and get them to be interested in your project.
So we're on the orange juice now. I haven't given up on the upcycling of clothing. I hope that we get back to that. But why don't we talk about putting the orange back in the county?
Very good. You said it right.
Perfect.
Orange back in the county, and some of the apparel that's coming along with it, and what we're trying to do with it. And you had 2 pop-ups that were very successful. Why don't we talk about that and then putting the orange back in the county?
You want to talk about when we went to Hotcakes?
Sure.
That was our first time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So go ahead.
Yoki put us in contact with the Hotcakes owner, Paul Tadeo, and he graciously allowed us to have our first pop-up in front of his cafe, and it went really well. We had over like 5 students come, and it was really interesting seeing how like at first we were actually like really shy, and we had Miss Pilon who really encouraged us like, hey, like speak up.
You gotta
like,
stop them in their tracks.
I did.
Exactly. And then little by little, we started perfecting our pitch and we started building confidence. And I just think that's a really cool aspect of, I guess, just selling to people and being able to bring students along, and also like everyone who was involved throughout the selling and creation of it, and also explaining our story as well. I think that was just great and awesome to see.
Yeah, the kids really lit up. One of them met his actual hero, an NHL hockey player, and he bought $100 worth of. Well, he didn't. He donated $100 and got 2 bottles of orange juice, and he was on fire. He said,
Yeah.
"I just sold orange juice to my hero," and he was
Yeah.
lit up.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I made you guys because
Yeah.
they were all just kind of standing there, and I'm used to trying to get answers out of kids. So I was like, oh no, you're not just gonna stand here. You guys got to do the elevator pitch, which we train our students a lot in. What Fit Day is what we call it. It's a force and training program that we go through in our culinary program where the students have to sell themselves within 30 seconds. So I was like, you got 30 seconds to grab people's attention. If you can't grab them, if you have a 3-minute story about your orange juice, you're going to lose them, right? And so I made you guys practice on each other, and they felt awkward, I think, at first. But
At first.
For
but
sure.
It was a huge success.
Yeah.
And so, Yoki, why don't you talk about your vision? Because we want to build an enterprise center at Newport Harbor High School that includes a culinary kitchen. If you have citrus out there, I'm going to put the link to get citrus. If you have citrus you're willing to donate, please. I'll put the link in this post. But our dream of having a culinary enterprise center at Newport Harbor and what really it means for the community and the school.
Yeah, that's exactly the same vision that I have also, and it's great to work with like-minded people. Like the kids here are just fantastic. We've had some great times going out to the garden out in Temecula, but we also had some great times just standing in front of the orange juice stand and selling orange juice. The results were unbelievable. We sold out, and going forward, we will continue to do the clothing. This was a t-shirt that was being discarded. We're going to cut this out and applicate it maybe even onto the coats here, so that we start participating in a program that is, I think, is first in, at least in the city, to start taking responsibility of some of the things that we're throwing away on campus, but then also evolving into a common denominator like oranges. We're from Orange County. We see oranges in the culinary school. We're seeing now how we can build a business off of an orange. We're also talking to the community. As you mentioned, if you do have an orange tree in the backyard of your house, we would love to come and visit, and we'll bring TAR TV and a couple other people, and we'll start doing social media from it. We'll be able to run through the business program. We'll also be able to have an opportunity of talking to the community in so many other ways of them being able to participate in this program. There's 2,900 students at the school, so there probably is about 5,000 to 6,000 parents out there. If you want to get involved, we'd love your participation in any way, any shape. And for this year one was the garments, year two is the orange juice. We're looking at building, hopefully, a farm one day somewhere here in Orange County. We do have a farm from a gal that actually, Melody's farm.
Yep.
It's
Melody
right
Drake.
up here in Robin Hood Lane, and
I have to say, Melody has been donating her oranges and grapefruit and other lemons,
and-
all sorts of things for
Incredible.
years.
Another
We love
former parent
Melody.
At Newport Harbor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's
Right.
Yep.
a teacher.
Drake Family Farms, that's what
And
we've been
has
calling
one of the
it.
last farms, working farms in this area.
And we put in some orange trees
We did.
yeah, we put in about 6 orange trees
in her
there.
backyard.
And I have some footage on that, so we need to start talking about that too. But all in all, this is just a thing called Orange Garden X Newport Harbor High School. And the garden is also a common denominator, but it also means gathering the abundance, repurposing, and demonstrate ethos. Ethos is a Greek word. And our definition is to do the right thing. And when do we want to do it? We want to do it now. So Orange Garden and Newport Harbor High School, we're going to rock and roll into the years, man. Let's do this. I think
do
it's
it.
going to be so much fun. And so far, it's been a blast.
It's so fun. Thank you, Yoki, for bringing your energy to our school, because it's so nice to partner with local business people and just, I mean, you're a celebrity in your own right. You are. I'm so cool in my family because I know you. My nephews who are like teenagers, they're like, Yoki? I kind of know him. It's kind of cool. But your energy and vision, and Dr. Boulton, your energy and vision, and kids, your energy and vision, and you, girl, you got this. We're
High
awesome.
five.
So
Right on.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening, and if you have oranges, we'll take them, we'll come and get them. And also, if you have a few $1 million laying around, we'll gladly take that too and build an enterprise center at Newport Harbor High School. But
Attaboy.
thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody, and
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
always,
thank you.
Go
Sailors.
Sailors.
Go Sailors.